Hello everyone, it's me Nightmare. Today I'll be reacting to Jaiden animation. My biggest hyperfixation yet, and I was almost in the Squid Game. And also, this is a 100 subscriber special. And thank you all for helping me reach 100. But my goal is 1,000, but hey, beggars can be choosers, and I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your love and support to my channel. Alright, let's get into it.
At this point, you all know how I am about my special interests.
By the way, I watched any animation before, the Pokemon ones and the Japanese ones.
My super addictive personality takes over, and I can get just a little passionate about things my brain becomes attached to. I just can't help myself. When I like something, I want to be completely
I'll react to the Miku one later.
Surrounded by it at all times. Is that such a crime? No, it's not. I'm just enjoying life. You should try it sometime. My hyperfixations have always come in waves. None of them ever truly go away. They'll have their burst for a few months and then lay dormant in my head until something triggers them again. But guys,
that always fucking happens all the time. Oh my god.
There's been a shift. The big one.
A Chicago one.
It's finally happened. I've stumbled onto something that I have not.
The Chicago one, that one bear that from Hello Kitty section from Japan. You know, it was in the Jaiden animation. Pokemon sent me an invite, something or whatever.
Been able to let go of. My brain has latched onto this new hyperfixation so tightly that even after several months, my obsession has only gotten stronger.
Damn.
It's this little guy called Chikawa. When Jacob and I were in Japan, August 20th.
Yeah, I think this was the video that I was talking about, the Japan one. I'll link Jaiden Jaden's channel in my description.
2023. I saw these silly little figurines in a claw machine. They were funny and cute, so I got one and proceeded to carry it around in my pocket for the remainder of our Japan time.
Spoiler alert. But spoiler alert, that one Chicago is still in her pocket throughout the video. And she got very addicted to it.
But as the trip went on, I continued to see this tiny white creature almost everywhere. Plushies and collectibles lined almost every store, posters, collabs, manga, whatever this thing was, it was absolutely a big deal. And with every glance, something deep within me, some overwhelming force, urged me to buy as much as I could. I didn't know a single thing about this character, but it was addiction at first sight. This is a picture of the Chikawa haul I took back home to get.
By the way, I think this is just 1% of how much Chikawa she got. I think this is the 1%. In the Japanese one, she went overboard. Oh my god.
Give you a visual of how much I descended into Chikawa madness after just 3 weeks of exposure. And as an update, this is my current Chikawa collection, a year and a half after my first encounter with the creature. The brainworms have fully taken over, and I am actively still desperate encounter with the creature. The brainworms have fully.
By the way, I want my PC to look like this, not minus the Chico ones, just like this. This looks
taken over, and I am actively still desperate to obtain more. Coincidentally, a few months ago, the very first Chikawa pop-up shop came to America, and since it overlapped with my birthday, I made.
When was that again? Yeah, fuck, comment down below.
All my friends go to it and watch me buy everything. It was the best birthday ever. To anyone who isn't familiar, Chikawa comes from an online manga created by Nagano. The series hasn't really made its way to America yet, but it is huge in Japan. I'm desperately hoping this video will get more of the Western audience interested in Chikawa because I need it to be here. I cannot keep buying scalped merchandise through eBay. My bank account is melting. Please, Chikawa, I'm begging. But Jaiden, this looks like any other of those cute Japanese character mascots. What makes Chikawa so special? Look, unenlightened viewer, just sit back and let me spoon feed you the incredible world of Chikawa. I will bear the cross of spreading the Chikawa propaganda. Heed my gospel, if only this one time. So, Chikawa. What is this thing? It looks pathetic and puntable. And you are very right. Good job on that one. The word Chikawa can be translated to something small and cute. And this is the introduction to the manga. I want to become something like this. Some kind of small and cute creature. If someone gets mad at me, I want to cry like this. And run away. When I get tired, I want to cry. And fall asleep. If something makes me happy...
Is this a nutshell or is this the actual manga? The actual manga that happens in the manga. What the fuck?
I want to dance like this. I want to become something like this. Some kind of small and cute creature. And then get something like a big cream puff. And bury myself in it while feasting. Then I want to cry because I got cream all over myself. And ran out of cream puffs. Gently clean myself. And then fall asleep while reminiscing. I want to become something like this. Some kind of small and cute creature. And then on a rainy day, or when I'm carrying a lot, or when my legs are tired, I want to fall over and cry. And be picked up in a cart like this. And then get tossed inside my house. So right away, you kinda get who Chikawa is. It's tiny and pitiful in every way, with simple wants like good food and compliments. It's emotional and cries at the smallest inconveniences. I feel like at its core, Chikawa is a personification of the human desire to simply give in to the inner child's wants and emotional needs with no filter or judgment. It's extremely refreshing compared to the hustle and bustle of daily human life. After these first pages, the manga starts to take shape and becomes more like a traditional series with actual panels, new characters, and eventually there's even story arcs too. But sometimes a page is just about a character making good food, eating it, and enjoying it. And I love that. When I read Chikawa, it makes me feel like I'm timing out for a moment. I enter this world where life is simple and everything slows down. Each little moment and feeling gets to be highlighted. It helps to remind me to savor the joys of the smallest experiences life has to offer. Even though some parts of Chikawa's world are unrealistic, like rice cookers found in bushes that always refill with rice, or a magical geyser that spits out fun candy, it's not a complete escape from reality because it still offers very real experiences. At one point, Chikawa sees that its friend Hachiware has a cool weapon to protect itself from dangerous creatures. Inspired, Chikawa goes out and gets a job where it pulls weeds for money. After some time and hard work, it gets to show Hachiware they now have a matching weapon of their own, celebrating and playing with them together. Not everything that happens in the world of Chikawa is good, though. Sometimes the characters work hard and fail anyway. Watching their tiny minds struggle to deal with defeat is such a whiplash because you definitely expect nothing bad to ever happen to them. I have to admit, the manga has made me cry on multiple occasions. No judging unless you've read it too. But when they do succeed, you really get to slow down and appreciate their effort to achieve things. It's so rewarding to watch them come out on top. You get to celebrate the characters' little achievements with them. I don't remember the last time I felt this happy even achieving something for myself. And here I am getting the warm fuzzies over a creature eating ramen with its best friend. I don't mean to make it seem deeper than it is, but Chikawa really makes me feel like I need to slow down and let myself feel more fulfilled by the smaller wins life has to offer. This manga is just so charming. Something about how Nagano draws these things makes me both extremely happy and also laugh really hard. This is one of my favorite pages in all of Chikawa. Hachiware and Chikawa are running with their container of sushi, excited to get home and eat it together, but Hachiware trips and falls, completely ruining the sushi inside. And the face Chikawa makes absolutely kills me. I use it to message my friends all the time. It's just such a specific portrayal of this tiny, pitiful creature's feelings. I cannot get over it. Hachiware then decides to mix the sushi together and they get to eat it as rice bowls. Happy ending. I'm trying to explain it, but you really just have to read it yourself. I love the art, I love the content, I love how I feel when I'm consuming it. I have to buy merch. Looking at them, you probably think all the characters are all just sweet little cute things and don't really have distinguished personalities, but you couldn't be more wrong. This one's actually an alcoholic. Let me show you my personal favorite, because yeah, surprise, surprise, it's actually not Chikawa. This is Momonga. It's the complete opposite of what you would expect a character in this series to be like. It's selfish, needy, always telling everyone what to do. The complete opposite to Chikawa. Momonga should be absolutely insufferable, but at the same time, it also has this burning desire to act and be perceived in the most cute and likable way possible. It has no idea how social norms work. It is simply a conversational tornado, and I love it so much. I get the feeling I look really cute. Look! 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 Hey, you're bumping into them. The thing falls down. They made them cry. Will they apologize?
No.
Look, compliment me. They're terrible. Momonga might not be for everyone, but something about how unapologetically bratty it is lights up my world when I see it on the page. Like, look at this single panel. Creature lying on the floor, crying. Someone is wondering if it's gonna apologize for pushing it down. And Momonga is just standing there, not giving a single shit. I wish I could be Momonga. As you saw in my collection, I have a handful of Momonga things too. I just like buying Chikawa stuff more. There is a Chikawa.
Oh, fuck. Well, Chikawa is the main character, so there's a lot of merch of Chikawa. I'm gonna read the manga.
Anime too, and I like it. It's great at bringing the world to life. I still recommend reading the manga first, so you get to really appreciate the personality and charm of the drawings. But if you would simply rather watch cartoons than read, then absolutely go for it. I totally get it. I just want you to consume it one way or another, so it becomes popular in the West and they bring the merch here so I can buy it all. What's funny is the anime episodes are very short. 1 minute of animation, followed by another minute of rolling credits. As I'm writing this script, there are 225 episodes of the Chikawa anime, so 225 minutes, or just under 4 hours of content. You could get caught up on the entire Chikawa anime faster than some YouTube video essays. Compared to what a lot of media is feeding us right now, where everyone is always trying to aggressively grab your attention, get you to click on things, make you feel angry, overwhelm you, Chikawa is the complete opposite. It makes you appreciate every small moment. You watch these characters go through their silly, imperfect lives, enjoying their food, working towards their dreams, feeling so accomplished and fulfilled over the tiniest things. Sometimes they get upset, but by the next page, they're already enjoying something else going on in their life. While you go through this series, you'll have your first thought of, man, I wish real life was like the world of Chikawa. But then you kinda realize it just can be. You can take a moment to enjoy your food like they do. You can celebrate a milestone and feel just as rewarded as they do. They live in the moment, not stressing over what comes next or how they're gonna top it. And you can too! It makes emotions feel real and valuable again to me. All through these simple little puntable characters. Chikawa isn't gonna resonate with everyone like it has with me, and that's completely fine, even though they're wrong. But I do hope that I've convinced at least some of you to give it a try. You can watch the anime on High Dive with subtitles, but unfortunately, there's currently no official English translations of the manga. You have to get a bit crafty to read it at the moment. Until we get official translations, there is a fan-made guide to Chikawa resources in the description with fan-made translations. But be respectful and normal, please. To be honest, I'm a little scared of all the attention I'm putting on this community all at once, but please just be chill about it, okay? Also, please, you don't have to bring me up every time you see anything Chikawa related. I don't want to suddenly make this a Jaiden animations thing. Just enjoy Chikawa as Chikawa, please. Thank you. I really want to be gentle with it because I love and respect the franchise a lot, but
I'm gonna call out so many anime fandoms. Respect your franchises and don't make your opinions onto others. it's your opinion, not their. Your opinion is just your opinion, and other people's opinion is their opinion. Don't try to argue over stupid shit like power scaling, who the favorite character, who is supposed to be in the big three. None of that matters, except the big three part, I think. Whatever, but still, respect the franchise and stop trying to force people to like what you like and watch what you like to watch.
And I also want to share this series with you guys as well. Hopefully you'll be just as obsessed as I am.
This is how it should every animation fandom should be like. Just respect the franchise, share it, and give your opinion. Don't try to force it on people. Just, it's your opinion, nothing else.
And then we can all buy merch once Chikawa comes to the West, eh? Thanks for letting me ramble about my favorite
Minus that part.
thing. I love Chikawa. I hope you'll give it a try. And if anyone out there watching can tell the Chikawa company to send the merch to America, please. I promise I will buy it all. Please. There's actually a chance.
Yeah, your bank account is about to cry. Okay, now to the Alright, I was almost in Squid Game. Alright, let's get into it.
When I say I was almost in Squid Game, I specifically mean Netflix's reality show version, not like
Really?
the actual one where people died. Sorry
There was a reality show of Squid Game?
for a bit of a bait there, but also I'm not lying. So before I get into that whole story, I need to explain how I was even put in that situation to begin with. Early last year, Jacob, our friend Joe, my brother Jax, and I all went to this little Squid Game pop-up event hosted by Netflix. It looked interesting, to say the least. A combination of curiosity and boredom are what convinced us to buy tickets.
The boredom will convince me a lot. I am always fucking bored. And maybe the curiosity, but the main thing that makes me do things, because of boredom. I hate being bored. It makes me sleepy.
Our Uber took us to the location provided, and we were dropped off at a scary back alley in the streets of LA. Are you sure this isn't a setup for, the real thing? We hunted down the entrance, headed up Squid Game themed stairs, and inside was a big lobby with merch, snacks, decorations. You know what else was in there? No other human beings. We were the only ones there, along with the shape guys that were just staring at us.
Cool.
Are you sure this isn't— I don't know anymore. Staff signed us in and gave us numbered wristbands. What? It's like Squid Game! Eventually, more contestants showed up, and soon enough, we were herded into the starting room, decorated very much like no one actually cared about this thing.
Yep. Yeah, Mr. Beast did better than this. Mr. Beast did better.
And if they did, corporate ruined it. The staff guy gave us the rundown on how the event was gonna work, all the rules, such and such. But sprinkled throughout the explanation were like a lot of safety hazard jokes. I know the concept of the whole thing is rooted in playing dangerous games and dying and ooh, evil dystopian. But he was saying things like, don't lean on the walls. You might rip through it, and I don't want to fill out any paperwork if you hurt yourself. Don't touch anything that you shouldn't touch. I don't want to have to fill out paperwork again. He was very anti-paperwork, like way more than the actual humans.
I mean, who likes paperwork anyways? And I don't.
Safety part. Based on what we've seen so far, our group knew we were about to experience exactly what we were hoping for, but with not the death part. For the first
Low budget
game, we were led into a room with lines of glass squares. What? It's like Squid Game again! The glass jumping part! When it was your turn, the pattern on the 10 squares would be shown, and you needed to memorize which tiles to step on. It's like, well, I guess it's kind of like Squid Game. Kinda. The first batch of people stepped up, the patterns all flashed, but before anyone could begin stepping on glass, they were instructed to hold it and only take one step at a time. For the whole game, we had to watch everyone take one individual step, stop, wait to be confirmed, then take one more step. for 10 spaces in like 6 groups total. Also, I think that whatever mechanism they used to track if people were out or not was super busted, because literally only like 5 people in total got their pattern right. Joe, Jacob, and Jax all swore they memorized their pattern correctly, but were eliminated anyway. I know I botched mine up though. I've got paper shredder brain. They could give me 1 tile to memorize and I would still forget it. 25 of the 30 people failed their very first puzzle. Now, Netflix knew that if people
Oh my god, so many eliminations.
paid $40, yeah, 40, to be in this shitty little Squid Game event and then had to go home after the first game, they would be pretty upset. So the rule was for the first 4 challenges, no one would be eliminated. Yay, woohoo, phew, that was a close one. In the next room, they tried to combine both the honeycomb game and the marbles game from the show, but what was put together was throw marbles in the shape on the table to win other people's marbles. It was very anticlimactic. Unfortunately, we were only able to gather in groups of 3, so Joe wasn't able to join us. Instead, he was paired up as a third wheel to a random couple that was obviously here on a date. Jax cleaned up shop on us. He got all our marbles within minutes. But over at Joe's table, malicious injustice was afoot. Apparently, the 2 people that were in a romantic relationship ganged up on Joe, and after taking all his marbles, just split them up between each other. Despite there being no actual stakes in the game, Joe was furious simply out of principle and swore to get revenge on them somewhere, somehow. Before he could even start any beef, we were brought into the next room, and again, we're split into groups, this time of 4.
Yeah, by the way, this is me every fucking day. This is me every fucking day. I am always mad. I don't know which one, but I am always fucking mad at something.
They really liked group activities in this thing. Walking through the doors to the challenge, everyone was stationed around a respective gift coffin. After opening them up, it was revealed we were going to be playing a big version of Operation, the game where you try to pick up fake little organs with fake medical tools without touching the sides. So, simulated surgery. Like, I guess that was kinda in Squid Game. At least they decorated the boxes like it, but I mean, we're really pushing it at this point. Jacob and I randomly got paired up with this married couple, and the 4 of us started inspecting the tools when suddenly the woman goes, "Oh, will you pass me the forceps?" She's a surgeon. Oh my god, we just happened to be paired up with a lady whose literal job was operation. The challenge began and the 3 of us took our hands off the tools, she cracked her knuckles, and we watched as all the plastic organs were suddenly out of the prop body. Not surprisingly, our team was the first to finish. When we got back together with Joe and Jax, we explained how we got super lucky to be paired up with an actual surgeon that literally soloed the whole thing, and Joe was like, wait, that guy was a surgeon? And Jacob and I had to shake our heads and say, no, Joe, she was a surgeon. Damn it. Now that we were entering the 4th challenge.
Wait, what?
Damn it.
Accidentally misogynistic.
Now that we were entering the 4th challenge, it was time to get serious. This was the first game where people would start getting eliminated for realsies. But not realsies. Everyone was split into 2 groups and taken to one side of a wall where there was a bunch of prop boats. It was a kind of not really IRL version of Battleship where we had to try and shoot down all the other side's boats, and the team that won would progress into the 5th game. I would describe this idea as good enough. Sure, you know, we didn't get to choose where to put our boats since they were bolted to the floor, but I guess we did only pay $40 to be here. For some reason though, the staff member on our side was, we can call it, extremely helpful. At first he was saying general tips, like, so if they still have a 4-tile boat, let's check all the areas that could fit that. You know, saying vague hints to help us out a bit. But by the end of it, he was just straight up telling us, if I were you guys, I would shoot right here. Like, this guy wanted us to win, and win fast, so either he had some kind of bet going on with the other staff members, or dude just had places to be. All the other team's boats were sunk, and the remaining 15 or so people were led into the semi-final game. It was obvious as soon as we saw her, we were finally playing the classic red light, green light. It was
That's the first game,
decorated
right?
like the show, the doll was there, but there were giant gift boxes scattered around the room to act as obstacles. Because when you think about it, red light, green light isn't high stakes when staff can't actually shoot the contestants. Like, something had to be added to spice it up a bit. We gathered on the starting line, and the game started. As we were playing, I was thinking, how are they measuring if we're moving or not? You know, I doubt they recreated the entire motion tracking doll thing just for this pop-up that's getting torn down after a month. I figured the only thing they could be using to track motion is our wristband, so in between the green lights, I focused extra hard on making sure my wrist stayed as still as possible. In fact, I was focusing so hard on my wrist that I didn't even realize I was the first one to pass the finish line. Unfortunately, similarly to the janky glass memory game, it seemed like a lot of the wristbands were super wonky as well because a lot of people got pinged as eliminated no matter how still they were, including Jacob and Jax, which was a huge buzzkill. Either that or they were just built to be super sensitive and somehow my weak little carpal tunnel wrists decided to not shake for the first time in 5 years. I turned back to see just 3 people left. One of them being Joe. They all lunged forward, and as red light was called for the final time, I watched as Joe tripped and crashed into them, causing every person left to topple to the floor. Their wristbands deemed them eliminated. As Joe was walking past me to the dead area, I asked what happened, to which he said, I got him. Joe had intentionally sacrificed himself to bump those people because they were the couple that ganged up on him during marbles. He had finally gotten his revenge. Was it petty? Yes. Did he probably ruin their date? Yes. But do I also not care and think that was the funniest shit ever? Absolutely. Joe is awesome. I was somehow the only one in our group moving on to the final round. Me and the other 4 winners of red light, green light were brought into Squid Game. And everyone else was there too, watching from behind a little rope. Jaiden, Squid Game is so rough and tough. How did you fare against the 4 other dudes that made it to the end? In real Squid Game, the guy got stabbed. Did you get stabbed? You're probably wondering. And oh dear viewer, no, I did not get stabbed. In fact, I didn't get hurt at all because Netflix didn't want to deal with paperwork. Instead, we played hold a fake egg on a spoon and attack each other until there's 1 egg standing, but attack in a way where there's no paperwork, which is fine with me because I doubt any of us actually knew how to play Squid Game anyway. The buzzer rang and everyone started shifting around in the shape. Since I, for some reason, have experience in high-stakes game tournaments, I deployed my signature strategy of don't bring attention to myself. I simply dodged and weaved between the guys swiping at each other's eggs. I can take someone on in a 1v1, but any number higher and I've gone well past my capabilities. Eventually there were just 3 people left. The crowd started yelling, "Get the girl! The girl's still in!" And the 2 guys started walking towards me. But then my personal peanut gallery chimed in with, hey, they're ganging up on the girl! Boo! Shame! Boo! And that flustered them enough to back away again. Apparently, the power of teamwork and fear of misogyny can persevere through anything. Suddenly, an egg hit the floor. It was just me and non-woman hating guy number 2. The exact 1v1 I was trying to create. We circled each other, both our spoon-holding arms stretched out as far as they could go. He swung at my egg a couple times and I managed to dodge, but I couldn't win this thing if I didn't go on the offense. Wait, what if I just... I won the silly little Netflix Squid Game pop-up. The front man came out and escorted me to the VIP area where he gave me a plastic animal mask, like in Squid Game. And we took awesome photos together, and I got an awesome t-shirt that said winner. And I didn't know it at the time, but as this was happening, the staff pretended to shoot all the losers with fake gun sounds. Unfortunately, I didn't get the 45.6 billion money prize like in the show, but along with the t-shirt, they
Those are prop money. Those are fake money.
did give me a special form to fill out that would give me priority application for Netflix's actual Squid Game reality show.
There's actually a real reality show of Squid
Game
Game?
The Challenge, Season 2. I looked at the form and thought, you know, we'll just see what happens. Filled it out and was able to bring my friends back to the VIP room with me because winning isn't fun unless you do it with your friends. That's what Squid Game taught me. There were a bunch of snacks and alcoholic beverages in the winter area, and I gotta say, the alcoholic squid drinks were probably the worst things I've ever tasted. It was astonishing how bad they were. Over a year later, and I can still imagine it. I don't even know what ingredient could do that to a drink. Anyway, after I submitted my form, I half expected to never hear anything about it ever again. But to my surprise, Netflix reached out to interview me about potentially being a contestant on the show. In fact, I was forwarded to the next round of interviews 3 times to completely break any potential rules of confidentiality. I was starting to think there might be a chance I could actually be on the show. But eventually, the interviews came to a stop, and I have come to the conclusion they have moved on to better qualifying people. Most likely because I will admit I was a bit too honest during the interviews. They basically all just looked like this. What kind of a role do you think you would play in Squid Game as a contestant? I'd probably just be a follower. I don't like taking charge at all. How hard would you fight to win Squid Game? Not that hard. Have you watched the first season of Squid Game, The Challenge? No. Well, I watched the first 20 minutes, but I turned it off because I thought it was really badly paced and boring. So that was that, and I'm okay with it. Or who knows, maybe it's really badly paced and boring. So that was that, and I'm okay with it. Or who knows, maybe they saw my very strange track record of winning game tournaments and got scared.
Yeah.
It kind of seems like...
Alright. Well, that was something. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe and help me reach 1,000 subscribers. And thanks again for helping me reach 100 subscribers. I really appreciate it, and I love you all. Love my community. Well, the community I'm building up. Well, again, please like and subscribe and help me reach 1,000 subscribers. Alright, see you all.